Hello, my name is Maya Elliott Soupy. Welcome to our very first Anderson Township Tribute. We are so excited with our program today. We have two very special guests that are near and dear to my heart because I come from a military family, and our two special guests just so happen to be soldiers just back recently from Iraq. So I'd like to take this time to welcome our two very special guests. We have Specialist Alex Presley and Specialist Chris Hurley. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, gentlemen, how long has it been since you've been home?
1 month, 1 day actually today.
Wow, well, welcome home. It is
Thank
such
you.
an honor to be with you today. This is the time of year that patriotism seems to rise high, and it goes par for the course. But as we sit here with two soldiers today, it's very easy to have patriotism well up in your heart, and I hope that the community can feel the same way I do as we continue on into this interview. Why don't you tell me a little bit about where you're from in this area?
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure, I'll start. From Anderson Township, originally from actually Bethel, Ohio. Grew up out there, moved here when my mom got remarried and graduated from Turpin High School.
Turpin, a local
Class
boy.
of 05. Yeah.
Great. And Chris?
Myself, born, raised my entire life in Amelia, Ohio. Graduated from Amelia High School in '03. Joined the military in October of '06.
Now, when you made that decision to join the military, did you have any idea that you'd be heading to Iraq? That thought crossed your mind?
No. Well, when you initially join, you take that leap of faith thinking that at one point in time in your career, there is always going to be the opportunity, especially during a time of war, that you will more than likely be heading overseas. But in a reserve unit, I thought my chances were less than likely.
Yeah. I didn't really think so too much until during basic training. I was in the chow hall, and a sergeant major came in and told me my unit has just been alerted. So I was a new recruit in basic training, so I got told during basic that I was going to be deployed about a month after I got out, and that's how it happened.
How'd your family take that news?
Wow. Initial shock value, of course. Sad, upset, every emotion that you could think of running through all at one time. Myself, a little bit scared and a lot anxious, actually. I wanted to serve my country. So I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity, and I'm just glad that they were really supportive of me.
My family was pretty proud, scared, happy. My little sister was real scared because the only thing you see on the news is, of course, the bad stuff. So, but yeah, like Chris said, it's an honor. I mean, it's great when you're over there. You're out there with your guys, and it was awesome. So.
Now, what about being in a reserve unit? Where did you actually deploy from?
Well, we are in the 478th Engineer Battalion, right there in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, so everything's real close. You go through a 3-month train-up, which is called mobilization. So we all got on a big bus and drove to Fort McCoy, Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when your experience when you're boots on the ground in Iraq and wide-eyed young men as you two are, when you got off that plane over there, was it what you expected?
One thing that I will never forget, when I first stepped off the plane in the Kuwait, the heat of the air that I felt. I thought it was plane exhaust. But as I walked further from the plane, I realized it wasn't exhaust.
Now, what time of the year was that?
It was August.
Yeah.
August, at its peak.
It was bad when, like he said, I didn't know even what to think, like, because when we left Maine, and it was pretty chilly outside, and then we landed in Germany, or no, we landed in Ireland.
We landed in Ireland.
It was still pretty chilly, and then we land in Kuwait, we get off, and it's the middle of the night, just absolutely blistering heat, and it was a pretty big shock, so.
Now, when you were there, did you find that you had plenty of the things that you needed, plenty of water, plenty of the supplies? The U.S. forces taking good care of you.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the people there. Maybe your first contact with some Iraqi citizens.
First contact with Iraqi citizens?
Yes.
First contact with Iraqi citizens, I thought went fairly well. They seemed real supportive when we first came into country. no rock throwing, no name calling, nothing like that. They're real supportive people, happy to see us, waving, thumbs up, that kind of thing.
Now, what part of Iraq were you in?
The Al Anbar province, which is Ramadi, Fallujah.
That area.
What about the kids?
The kids.
Were they much like our U.S. children?
No. They were. I mean, every time you drove by, they would just chase after the vehicles, and all the gunners all of us would just have big bags of candy that we would be throwing out to them, and soccer balls. And my mom's church got together a bunch of soccer balls, sent them overseas, and threw them out. And that's pretty much the highlight of their day is, seeing a convoy roll by, just chasing after them. But yeah, they have a lot more on their plate than kids over here. So
Right.
yeah, so they were.
What about your mission? Can you think of one of the most important things that you feel that you were able to accomplish when you were on the ground there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We made the roads safer for not only U.S. Military convoys and allied forces, but the citizens of Iraq as well. We cleaned the streets of roadside bombs.
Wow.
That was our job, was to drive down the road at 10 miles an hour and look for the roadside bombs and, dig them out of the ground and dispose of them. So.
And as you were doing your job, what were the Iraqi citizens doing as you were?
Staying as far away from us as humanly possible. They knew what we were.
They knew the vehicles that we were in. They're much different than any of the other vehicles that that anyone else rolls around in. And everyone, even the convoys know who we are. And so they would, when they saw us stop, they figured that we had found something. So they would back up and take another route around us. So.
If route clearance vehicles stop, everybody either stays away or moves away from us.
Yeah.
That's the only time we
It's a
actually
little
stop.
bit of stigma than that. Then I mean, you're the good guys, but yet nobody wants to be around you.
Yeah.
Understandably so, though. Well, that's awesome. And then when the bags of candy and things came, when you were passing the candy out, did it ever make you nervous when the kids came up around you? Because I've heard different stories.
I don't know. There was some occasions where adults would come up to the vehicle with their kids, and that would make me nervous. But other than that, when the kids came up, they were just so friendly and wide-eyed smiled that, you couldn't, you can't really get nervous. They're just wanting candy, and, they're
Right.
just out living their life. So try to help them out and everything.
What about the U.S. kids? Did you hear much from them when you were over there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We heard a lot.
Our whole wall inside of our barracks was we had all of the cards that kids would send us and the letters and the "We love soldiers," everything like that.
That's what I feel like true patriotism comes from. It starts when they're little, and to be taught how important that our armed forces are, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
And those kids
Yeah.
will never forget that. As they grow up into adults, they'll remember, the cards and things that they sent you, even though you probably received far more of a blessing from it than they did.
Absolutely. Well, it was really nice. Personal story, and I'll make it quick too.
No, that's fine. Go right ahead.
There's a 4th grade class at Merwin Elementary where I attended 4th and 5th grade. A teacher there named Mrs. Greer, who I had as my 4th grade teacher, and then also moved to the 5th grade when I moved up to 5th grade, so I had her 5th grade year as well. She teaches 4th grade now at Merwin. Her class sent, I would guess, 3, 4, 5 packages the whole time I was there. Probably close to 6 letters apiece from each kid were sent to me. So when I came home on Christmas leave, I went and spoke to their class. And yeah, they were a little nervous at first, but they were happy to see that I was able to come in and see them. And it went really well. Well, when I came home permanently, this just a month ago, I went and saw them again before school let out. And I really got choked up when I was there, and they did too. And it made me feel really good. And when everything was said and done, after I spent time with them, it was time to leave, and I go to get up and leave. I'm in uniform again, and each and every one of these kids came up to me with their yearbook and asked me to sign their yearbook. That way they could never forget that. So it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's powerful stuff.
Absolutely.